Hello and a very warm welcome to this edition of Rising Stars. I'm Vikram Oza. If the idea is to fly high for leisure or for business, then you've got to be thinking of a private jet. For the most part, booking a private jet has been an exercise that's been fraught with processes that are long, charges that are quite high, and really hard to read into. And yes, it's been run by agents who get you these deals. So how if we pull out the middleman over here? Does it make for good business to charter private jets? We're about to find out from the new Mumbai-based startup, BookMyCharters. Sachit Wadhwa is co-founder of the company, joining us here in the Mumbai studio. Great to have you with us, Sachit.
Thank you.
Tell us how it is, to be setting up this kind of business. I understand you're very keen. The focus of the business is to become the Uber of the skies. So how far are we from that dream, really?
So, we've been commonly called the Uber of private skies, and I feel really good about it. BookMyCharters is a real-time charter booking platform, very similar to an Uber, where we're the only platform in the country to facilitate not only online aircraft generation, where aircrafts can be discovered online,
sure,
but we're the only company that facilitates instant quotes. You can go on the platform and see which are the aircrafts that are available for your itinerary,
right?
And you can go ahead and swipe your card just like you buy an airline ticket on Make My Trip.
So the process is simple.
Very, very simple.
But how large is the business, so to speak, right now? Because here was a time, and taking away from this Uber of the skies, I was in Dubai recently, and Uber is trying to do just that. They're building in the chopper services within their Uber app as well. So obviously this is in the coming. But I'm just wondering what the size and scope of the business is, because from what I understood, in India, the market for private jets has been on the decline. So you're coming in at a time when the market is slightly slower.
Right. So today the market stands at about 1,800 crores. We've got about 160 plus aircrafts that are available to charter. But it's been a very hassled process so far.
Right.
So if you look at the private jet booking space, I need to call multiple people before I get myself a quote. And that takes me 4 to 48 hours.
Right. And that's crucial. The timing is crucial.
The timing is really crucial. Owing the complexities that go in non-scheduled operations, because, you need to ensure that the aircraft has to land at the particular airstrip that you're talking about. It should have the endurance. So there are various complexities that are involved with scheduling a flight, and this is what we've been able to do over the last few years.
But that's what I mean, that all these hassles as those still stand. We aren't taking those away right now because the regulations stand.
Right.
Finding the right airstrips to be able to go to places, those are limited in nature as well. Right. Taxation is very high. So how do you create a viable business in this kind of environment?
So, if you look at it, I believe that the charter awareness on the whole in the market is very, very low.
Okay.
And this is one factor that we are trying to address. Also, if you look at it, today it's largely a broker-driven market.
Right.
So 90% of the business comes from a broker, and you may have multiple people involved in the process, which makes it a very opaque pricing system. So we're trying to bring in transparency there, and all of these regulations that you're talking about,
right,
these have been factored into the system.
Sure.
So, just to give you an example, if I was to plan a trip at 9 o'clock from Mumbai,
right,
between 8 to 10 in the morning, Mumbai airport is shut for non-scheduled operations.
Right.
So on the system, real time, you'll be able to see that you can't depart at 9, and it'll give you the right timings. So this is the sort of convenience that we're trying to bring.
You're building in the convenience, but like you started out by saying, this is more about creating awareness.
Right.
Pricing strategy is going to be very crucial. This has always been a very price-sensitive market. When you're building in a luxury service, at least at this point in time, it's still luxury to kind of get yourself a private jet.
Right.
Give me an indication, because I'm thinking, and I'm hearing this as well, that 5,000 rupees is as low as what a seat on a chartered flight can actually come at, going by what is available right now. Is that true?
That is. So that's again, so we've got aircrafts that fly in empty, and we heavily discount these flights.
I see.
So, you could actually get a Mumbai-Delhi ticket for as less as 10,000 rupees, which is comparable to a business class seat.
Sure.
So until now, we've chartered the entire aircraft on an empty leg, but now we are creating a mechanism to even sell it by the seat.
Right.
So that's where we're trying to get in affordability. If I look at traction, there are a lot of people who are now interested as this, because they're trying to experience this as a service, right? So you don't want to necessarily take a commercial airline, stand 45 minutes at the airport, and go through that entire hassle process.
Right.
You want to use us, which gives you standardized service across 40 aircraft that we have today.
But the existence of agents over here, Sachit, was also for a purpose in terms of payments, etc. And we're seeing the fallout of what has happened by the government rule that says anything above 2 lakh rupees in the purchase of jewelry items needs to have a swiping of the PAN card. How much of a deterrent has that been, and how does that get addressed? Because the agents, by and large, when you were booking through them for a private jet, they would be making the payment on your behalf. That's how the system really worked, and that perhaps worked in the larger scheme of things in the kind of economy that we do exist in. So now to put it all out there, to get it through a regular website, as it were, and I believe there's an app that's going to be out as well. It's putting it out in the public domain. How much of a deterrent is that going to be in the expansion of your business?
So, if you look at it, we are only facilitating 50,000 as an online booking amount.
Okay.
The rest of the process remains very similar to the traditional charter booking process. So, we're just trying to bring about that convenience in booking.
Right.
But the payment is coming in through RTGS or check form, which is how a broker would also collect.
In terms of the competitive landscape, there are others as well, like Jet Set Go. There's already an aggregator out there. How is it looking? Because here you're coming as a new venture of Baron Aviation. Now, they already have a fleet. They have been in the business of private jets and helicopters. So I'm just wondering whether that helps you leverage, and if so, then how does it do that for you?
I think the legacy really helps us. I got associated with Baron Aviation a couple of years back. And when I did a quick research, there was no comparable model in the global landscape.
Right.
So there was no platform that said that, you can go ahead and book your private jet.
Right.
But I saw technology being adopted in all the other segments. So, that's when I went up to the board of Baron Aviation. And I said that, hey, I have this vision and I want to redefine the way private aviation works today.
Right.
So if you compare us to any of the other models, most of the models are lead generation platforms. Which means that, you come online, you put in a request, but you're not getting a price that they'll honor. You don't know whether that aircraft is going to be available right there and then.
Correct.
So that hassle process that I was talking to you about, where it takes me 4 to 48 hours to book myself a jet, still continues.
So that gets addressed through it, and that's a crucial missing link that now you're trying to bring in.
Absolutely. In fact, what I would also want to highlight is that if you look at commercial airlines, they have a system called GDS, which is Global Distribution System, right? So if I'm a Make My Trip, if I'm a Go Ibibo, I can very well take the feed, which gives me pricing and availability.
Right.
But if you look at general aviation, there is absence of GDS.
I see.
So we had to go back and we had to create the system where we are not only an interface to the customer, but we are also, linked in the back end with the operators, with the aircraft owners. Which is where I'm getting the live feed of aircraft availability, I'm getting the live feed of pricing. So that was a very crucial
part. It covers the entire ecosystem, as it were. But obviously, the growth is going to be driven because there are metros that you're going to be available in.
Right.
There are only 3 other cities outside the metros. But going ahead, I would imagine the Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities are going to contribute a whole lot in how this business grows from here. Isn't that true?
So, if you look at the current charter ecosystem, like you rightly said, there are only 7 locations where private jets are available today. And that's where the entire charter ecosystem is. That's where the brokers are. What we are trying to address is, markets beyond this. So if you look at Tier 2, Tier 3 cities, today they don't have awareness levels. They don't know where to go.
Right.
So we are that platform for them where even someone sitting in Jammu can put in a request and get an aircraft quoting for him.
Right.
Now, whether that aircraft is sitting in Jammu or whether it will fly from Delhi, I can get that service done.
Right. So it's the convenience of it, and obviously there is great scope going ahead from here, but it is a long-haul business. Nobody can deny that. At this time, when we are seeing the numbers decline a little bit, you've got to be in this for the long haul, and that's something that we'll be watching as a space. Thank you indeed, Sachit, and good luck with the venture. We hope the app is up and flying very soon as well. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of our show, Rising Stars. We'll be back with more, but for the moment, from me, Vikram Oza and the entire team, great afternoon. Bye-bye.